Hello and welcome to episode 31 of the Music Community Podcast. My name is Dan Drumstone. I had to think for a second. I'm like, what is my name? And I'm joined, today's special. It's going to be a really fun day. I'm joined with co-hosts, Random Girl Singing, and a special guest co-host, That Violin Chick. She was a guest on here before, so hopefully you guys have heard that interview. She's amazing, and we're happy to have her here. And then our special guest up there is Mr. Jackson Parodi. And we're very excited to talk to him. I got to stop clapping and all his, he's got like, I was just telling him, like, he's got the coolest room on Twitch. It's like full of awesome
my
food.
Set.
It's perfect.
Stale old food. That's been there for a year.
It's like a fallout shelter. Like,
I got beer. I have old, you like old beer? I have old beer. I have a 2-year-old 6-pack of Bud Light Lime. Who wants one?
That sounds so good.
I'll put that over here too.
Now, is it Jackson Parodi or is it Jackson Parodi?
It's Parodi, but I prefer the incorrect pronunciation.
I say it wrong then. I'm terrible.
No, I know. I prefer the wrong way.
Got it.
If you don't mind.
Is that your real name? Sorry.
Yeah. It's my real name.
That is really cool. I didn't know that. My bad.
Do you have like a built-in stage name?
It makes like identification so easy. It's like, what's your Twitch channel? What's your YouTube channel? What's your Twitter? You know, all that. It's my name. Look, here's my driver's license. It's my name.
That's really cool. That's awesome. Well, we're excited to have you here today, man. You are.
Thank you.
I want to say this in a very cool way. You are like so unique and so special and so awesome that like, and I'm just excited to hear your story and how you got here, if that makes sense. But can you kind of tell us where it did begin for you musically, like a long time ago, or is it not that long ago?
Many eons ago. No, you're very sweet, and thank you for the invitation. I appreciate y'all having me on here. Thank you so much. For me, music, like a lot of folks sort of around me, I began in school band in middle school music program, band class. I played tuba. Mm-hmm. A buddy of mine, he played tuba as well in the school band. And it was in the 7th grade, so I would have been 11 or 12 years old, and I joined it because it was something to do.
Yeah.
It looked like a fun time. My friend was having a fun time in it, and so I thought I'll just do it too. And I played tuba. And then I went to high school and I kept playing tuba. And then I went to college and I kept playing tuba. And then I quit playing tuba and I got this thing, the accordion.
Nice.
It's and I got the accordion. It's lighter, but you have to wear it on your body, which you don't have to usually with tuba. So it's a trade-off.
Yeah.
It's a trade-off. And I got the accordion in March of 2012, and I started making YouTube videos in the summer of that year. And then I began streaming on Twitch regularly in like October of 2016.
Yep.
Almost coming up on 2 years ago.
Yeah, man, congrats. That's awesome.
What a complicated instrument to just pick up and just, I'm going to start YouTubing this now. I mean, it doesn't seem like an easy instrument to learn to me personally, but I don't know. Well,
I did the YouTube videos as a way to learn it. So I set out what the gimmick that I did was I got the instrument in March of 2012, and my first videos were in July. And I made the video, and the gimmick was one video every day for a year. I make one new YouTube cover every day for a year, every day, 365 at the end of it. And the idea was that I would use this video project to learn the instrument. So I would be forced, even if I didn't want to, I'd be forced to play every day and learn a new song every day and make a new video of it every day as a way to just like really just get into the instrument really hard, really fast, and just have a lot of experience at the end of it. And so I would learn new tunes, make videos, and learn the instrument, like 3-pronged attack, you know. So the videos were to help me learn the instrument.
Amazing.
Yeah, that had to be so hard.
And they still are.
Like,
yeah.
like no breaks every day. That's pretty crazy.
Well, it's pretty cool too, because, you know, a lot of people are way too timid to post something, you know, and especially in the YouTube environment where it's like everything I feel like I see is so clean, you know, and it's just like I can't put anything up unless it's perfect. You went completely the other way around and just said, hey, I'm going to use this to hold myself accountable. And here's what I got. And
I guess I'm sorry. I guess at the end, like today, those videos, they are very bad compared to what I played today. But also, like, I didn't know, nowadays we all know about like search engine SEO, and search engine stuff and hashtags. I didn't know that at the time. And so the videos are very hard it's hard to find them. You have to really know to look for me to find them. So they're up there and they're public. And if you want to look at them, you can, but you can't just like, it's not easy to stumble upon them very, very much,
If I did that, I think there'd be a couple days where I'd just show up and be like, burp, there you go, I'm out, I'll see it. Phoning it in. I'm just thinking of like when I would do like put some stuff up on YouTube and like really focus on it. Like Steph said, you want it to be perfect and you want it to be polished. So like editing and mixing and preparing and making sure the performance is good. Like that had to be hard, man. That's crazy, but I'm sure it like definitely helped you now with the instrument. Like you said, it you just learned it at a pace that normal people would be like, I can't do that. That's crazy.
I tried to keep the attitude, like Steph said. Like we all want to make sure our what we do is top notch. Of course, whether it's a stream, a video, a live performance, a house move, whatever. You want to make sure that it's to the top quality. Yeah. And at the time, I tried to keep like my attitude right, where I thought, okay, I've only been playing this instrument for like 3 months, 4 months at this time. So I should not expect myself to be playing at the level of a world class, high caliber soloist. That's not reasonable, but what I can do is I can set the baseline of my skill level wherever it's at, however good I am. And then my goal is to compare myself to the previous video. Am I at least as good as yesterday's video, or hopefully a tiny little bit better. So I compared myself to myself rather than to other people. That's and good. I think that helped me, go along.
Yeah.
Because you can't sacrifice good for perfect is what a lot of people say. You just have to, sometimes it's more important just to show up than it is to, if you sit there waiting until you're going to be ready to do something, that's all in your head. You might not ever be ready to do it. So did you segue into live streaming on YouTube, or did you go to Twitch for that?
No, ma'am. No, YouTube is relatively new. YouTube is only in the past couple months. I've been experimenting with the live YouTube stuff. And so far it's been pretty good. So probably like my literal first live streams were probably like in 2013 or 14, but they were like 1 in a million. I just, it was just like, let's see what happens. But I began doing it sort of seriously after TwitchCon 2016. I went to TwitchCon almost 2 years ago. And after that, I was so like energized and like, I'm going to be doing this thing. This is something I want to do.
It has that effect on people.
Yeah. No kidding. Cons in general to me do that. Like if I hang out with just a bunch of musical types or creative types or whatever, when I get home, I'm like, man, I got to get to work. I got to get my act together.
Yeah. So how did you find Twitch? Where did Twitch come into the equation?
I think I first started watching Twitch. I first even heard about it was probably in the summer of 2013. So my first streams were probably around, somewhere around that year. But I was watching fighting game stuff. I was watching Evo 2013, which is a big fighting game tournament. And that was the big year for Super Smash Brothers Melee. There's a whole story about that year. I don't need to go into it. But it wasn't for a long time that I didn't know about music, of course. Like Twitch is a gaming platform, but obviously as we are all in the non-gaming sector, the creative field, the hashtag creative field. And I don't know who were my, probably 8-Bit Drummer, I think was the first guy I heard about. And we had mutual friends. And so I chatted with him a bit and I met him at some cons in 2016. And so I got to see what he's about. And he's a pretty wild fellow. And so I got into him, and then from there it was just the rest. And then TwitchCon last year, which I think we all attended, and there was that, and I just dove in head first. After I began streaming is when I really started getting into what the website was about.
Yeah,
as a broadcaster.
Yeah, my first memory of you was at 88 Bit's house at the end. Like I didn't see you during the con, and then you came in, and man, you were like all over the room. Every instrument, you were like, and I was like, "Who's this guy?" But it was
really
awesome.
nice of him.
I could tell you were having a really fun time because it was like you were really focused on everything that was happening. Because it was a fun night, and a lot of people were there having fun. But I could tell you were just like you were so into what was happening and playing with people and just enjoying the quality of musicianshipness that was in that room. That's what I got from my first time seeing you, because you were just like picking up instruments and you were walking around and you were having a blast, I thought. But
it was really nice of him to lend out his house to such a motley gang of people. It was very nice of our friend to do that. But accordion is definitely a loner's instrument. Accordion is a loner instrument. You don't make a lot of friends or play with a lot of bands playing accordion, and so pretty much everything that I do is solo. Solo is a nice word for all by myself. Nice Italian word. And all my videos are by myself, or almost all of them. Streams are by myself, and for a lot of other streamers, it's the same thing. So to be in a room with a bunch of other musicians, that's like a next level musical experience. And for what I do, for my life, that doesn't happen hardly ever. Maybe once or twice a year, I get to play with other musicians in an extended way. And so I really, even at that event, I was dead sick. My voice was gone. I don't want to play a lot, and we did.
It was just neat because I was running the mixer. And, I was trying to pay attention to who was picking up what instrument, so I knew where to adjust. And I was like, oh, now he's over here. So it was just fun because I got to get a taste of everyone's, excitement and stuff. But it was really neat to witness that. But so for the people who don't know, can you tell them a little bit more about the kind of music you cover? Because you are a huge pop culture fanatic. I love your broadcast. You're so funny. But you are such a geek. In between these musical performances where basically this guy, it blows my mind you've only been playing as long as you have, because you can pick up anything like that. It's like you really, really impressed me with your musicianship. But also, this guy for 10 minutes straight will sit and talk about, Blues Brothers. Nice. And, he gets very passionate and very, very sparked up about this stuff. So talk about what inspires you to make music and the types of music that you select to cover.
Well, thank you so much for that glowing remark. I really appreciate that. Well, I like the Blues Brothers for one, so that inspires some of the music that I play. Music from that movie. Cab Calloway, who was in that movie. Cab Calloway was born in 1904, and the Blues Brothers came out in 1980, I think. So he was in his 70s when Cab Calloway did that movie, and they did that whole Minnie the Moocher sequence. Cab Calloway, wow. He died in '94. Cab was performing until the day he died. That's so from really cool. from the 20s to the early 90s. This guy was a real showman, a real performer, and that's the kind of sort of entertainer that I really look up to. Nice. So the Blues Brothers is no coincidence for that. I never set out to be a video game cover music guy, but I just ended up being a video game cover music guy, kind of. Whenever I think about that, though, I make sure to play something that's not from a video game, so I just throw off the scent. But more than half of the tunes that I play or the videos that I make are usually game covers. But I like to mix it up. It really just depends on what I'm into at that moment. I think one of the last videos I did was Blackbird by the Beatles or by nice. Paul McCartney. Final Fantasy VII track. Some other stuff. I like folk. I like different kinds of folk music. I like to not box myself in. I'm already boxing myself in with the accordion. So I don't want to further box myself in with other stuff.
That makes sense.
That's really cool. How many accordions do you have? Because I see 2 there.
Yeah. It's like from Highlights magazine. How many accordions are in this picture? Yeah. Can you find them?
There's a sewing machine and it's not an accordion. You almost fooled me.
Yeah, this thing is awesome. This thing is awesome. I own 3 accordions and 1 small concertina. It's a small bandoneon, which is a type of concertina.
Yeah.
Yeah, those 3. Yeah, but this one is the only one that I really use. That the one in the back is a backup in
really
case
cool.
should the worst happen. And then the third one I don't even really use that much.
That is awesome. Accordion. It is such a really cool instrument. I don't know. It's one of those. It like fast. Someone you might know what it's called. It looks like a tank kind of, and it's green. It's an accordion. It has like all these other things on it. It's like this massive thing. I can't think of what it is exactly, but
do you wear it on your body? Is it strapped in like
and
an accordion?
It's huge. It's like this big. It has like accordion properties, but other stuff. I'm like totally diving into something. I'll find it after, but it just popped in my head that I remember seeing it on stream. Someone requested a song, and this guy was playing it, and it was an instrument that I'd never seen before. Was it Bela Fleck and the Flecktones? Was it a Bela Fleck tune that they requested? It could have been. But it's just something I'd never seen before, and it was like a type of accordion, but it had like all these valves on it, and it was just massive. It was huge. It was pretty.
I think the drummer for Bela Fleck's band, I think he has this like custom made like handheld like drumming device, and I think it's strapped in front like an accordion. That might be what you're talking about. I'm not sure though. I haven't seen that like videos of them in a while.
Yeah, but they're really, and also some of my earliest memories of music was Lawrence Welk. My grandpa and grandma would come over.
Yes.
Like it was Saturday nights. I think they'd always put it on, and they'd watch it. And who was the guy that played accordion?
Myron Florin.
Yeah.
Myron Florin was the big accordion player.
Yeah. And I was like, man, that's like a cool instrument. And I would go to school and be like, accordion's cool. And everyone's like, what's an accordion? But I don't know. I've always appreciated the instrument, and I think it's very classy,
Is it true that it's an instrument that is percussion, wind, and string at the same time, or that it's like, all 3 or something? I thought somebody was saying something like that about it, but
it can be said that piano, some people consider piano a percussion instrument because it has the hammer striking the strings. But no, accordion is all wind power. Accordion technically is very similar to harmonica, and it's in the same family of instruments as harmonica and melodica, and concertina as well. Basically, sorry for the stutter. Basically, there's a block of reeds, and the reeds are set in, and then when I push the keys or the buttons, they open up valves. They open up airways for the air to go over the reeds and make them vibrate. So there's no percussion involved, unless you count me like hitting it with my fist or something when I get pissed off.
That's awesome.
Right on.
Now, Steph, you wanted to bring up, and you guys can all kind of chime in because I know Hannah's on push to talk.
She is here.
Yeah. But we were talking about the YouTube stuff earlier, Steph. I don't know if you want to bring that up. I thought it was a cool subject.
We were chatting about, there's been a lot of talk lately in the community about diversifying the platforms that musicians are using to live stream. Live streaming music is still pretty new, this is still pretty young, I guess, if you want to call it industry or hobby or whatever. And with other options like YouTube Live and Facebook and Mixer and other platforms as well, it's called into question, as partners or as folks that have contracts, what is okay to do and what is not okay to do. Some folks have different contracts than other folks. Jackson, you haven't had any problems, and you've been streaming on both. How do you find that they compare with one another?
Of
YouTube
I'm gonna cry.
And Twitch.
Well, my format nowadays, which I've been doing for only a couple months, not for very long, is I begin my streaming evening on YouTube Live, on my YouTube Live channel or stream, and I only do that for maybe an hour or two, and then after that I go directly to Twitch, and I finish the night on Twitch, however many hours that is. But
it's impressive. That's a lot of hours.
Oh, well, it's like rather than doing 4 hours on Twitch, I do 1 on YouTube and 3 on Twitch. You know, it could like add up that way. But really, I'll tell you my experience, but also I'll caveat it with I'm such a small fry. I'm not a big player on either platform. You know, so I should just like say it there. You know, like my experience is as a real small time fellow. You know, but really on YouTube and Twitch, it seems to me just sort of similar but different, just like a different audience. But overall, the experience is pretty comparable in my experience. You know, the viewer count is usually almost identical, which is kind of fun. But obviously on YouTube, I don't know, maybe not obviously, but there aren't things like raids. There aren't like, let me see who else is streaming accordion or music on YouTube. I'm sure they're out there, but I don't really look for it like I do on Twitch. So that's why I don't spend as much time on YouTube as Twitch. YouTube is like a little what's it called? An aperitif, an appetizer. It's like the bloomin' onion at Outback Steakhouse, or like the mozzarella, or like, you know, like endless breadsticks. You know, so I have my mozzarella stick. Yeah, I have my mozzarella sticks. You know, and then I get into the main course on Twitch. You know, so Twitch is still the main thing. I'm just adding YouTube, really, just because I can. And I've done it now for a few months, and nothing horrific or tragic has happened. So I don't see any reason to stop.
We're all still here.
Yeah. The world is still spinning. And so I just see it as just playing for a different audience. Some folks only know me on YouTube. Some folks, you know, they don't like to go on Twitch. They don't go on Twitch. So to me, it's just playing for a different audience. And some folks only know me on YouTube. Some folks only know me on Twitch. And so I just want to be there for both audiences.
I'm curious. Oh, wait, go ahead. Hannah, you go.
Yeah.
I was going to ask if you focus a lot on crossover promotion between your YouTube and your Twitch.
Yeah.
I used to do that more. I used to do like the thing, you know, it's like I make a video every time I go live on YouTube, like, hey guys, I'm live on YouTube. And then I like delete the video afterward. I used to do that. I didn't really see it doing anything for me, so I stopped. It just seemed kind of annoying for me to do because I didn't see anything happening for it. I get, you know, I say at the end of my YouTube thing, I say, hey guys, come over to Twitch. You know, I'm going there, and some folks do come over, so that's a success in that regard. I don't, but other than that, that's very low effort. I really don't do anything big to drive my YouTube folks over to Twitch. You know, my links are always there, of course, but I don't really go out of my way to really like try to herd the cattle, you know, like from one barn to the other. You know, I think if they come naturally, then they'll just come naturally. But I kind of like having two different audiences, though. I like if they're separated. I kind of like that because I can sort of like test things independently. You know?
Yeah. I was gonna ask, like you had mentioned, like they're a little different. Like, is there anything that pops in your head, like differences between like the viewers on different platforms? Because I'm curious. Like I've never messed around on YouTube live streaming. Like, is it like a cultural thing differently? Like, you know, there's like a Twitch culture in chat, you know, how everyone just kind of gets certain things. And is there like a YouTube thing where there might be like a phrase or like emotes or something that if I went in there, I'd be like, what? And, you know, like, I was just curious. Or is it more serious on YouTube? Like more
like, what is the streaming culture like?
Yeah.
I don't think I'm the right person to ask because I really don't watch any other YouTube live stuff. A few musicians, but they're just like me. So I don't really know. I don't watch like any big YouTube streams unless you count the Joe Rogan Experience, and the chat is turned off there. Thank God. So, really, as far as I can tell, it's very, very subtle. You know, it's like you know, like different. I don't know. They're like different accents or whatever. What I found on YouTube is that there are a lot more international people on YouTube, a lot more non-Americans on my YouTube streams, a lot of folks from Europe and other parts of the world. Mm-hmm. And I get to try to speak Spanish and Portuguese and other languages like that and look like a fool doing it. So there are more international folks. I don't know. For the most part, I treat it very, very, very similar. Now, okay, so I'm sure you all know about this. Now, or in the past, like whatever months, Twitch has been doing the minimal delay thing, the chat delay thing. Yeah. You know about this. that's relatively new. I think from like the get go when I did it with YouTube, it was already a very fast, very small delay. You know, so I noticed that before I got the Twitch version of that.
Yeah,
you
when
know,
you
so
went back to Twitch, it just felt slower.
yeah. So I had to check the beta delay thing. So that was something interesting.
It seems just from hearing from you that YouTube, just from hearing from your experience, that YouTube might be a little less community centric when it comes to music in general. Like, you know, on Twitch, it doesn't take long for one of those OG mods or streamers to kind of show up and embrace you, you know, and be like, hey, we've got things going on. And there's a lot of organization, and we are a community. We're definitely like a group of individuals who try to do things together and set goals together. And it seems like on YouTube, maybe this is just from hearing your experience, but it seems sort of like an island, you know, like you're kind of like an island there versus, you know, having these other connections.
I think you're probably right. And if it is a problem, then I'm definitely part of the problem. Well, I follow one other musician who streams live, and his name is a video game pianist. He's a real like original gangsta video game musician. He's been playing. I saw videos of him in like 2005. This dude has been around for a million years, and he's really good. But like he's it. But really, when you say island, like I said before, the accordion is a loner's instrument. I don't know. I'm used to working in like an isolated manner, and I think I'm just used to that, and I don't mind it, I guess. So I'm fine with just being like my stream is just, you know, is what I do, and not like I don't care about my colleagues and other people who do what I do, but I'm so used to just like being out there on my own. It's just like, you know, my stream is, you know, what it is. Like my world is very small. Yeah. In that regard. On Twitch, it's different because I'm here right now with you three lovely folks and the millions and millions of fans watching in the chat right now.
Well, even just like looking at your room, like if I didn't know who you were and I stumbled across it, I'd be like, whoa, there's Goldeneye and he's got all the cookies, Cheerios. Is that what Tom Cruise movie is that?
The Bud Light.
There's this, I know that movie. There's like, you know, like that's the thing. Like it's interesting. You pop in and you're like, what is that? What's this? Right. Oh my gosh!
I said profanity there. No, what other Tom Cruise movie would it be?
Oh, Jersey Fire.
Coming now on VHS. You know, it's right here.
Nice. Get your
be kind. Rewind if you don't mind.
Yeah, adjust it. Do you remember tracking?
Adjust the tracking if you please.
Oh my God.
50 cents at Goodwill. This is you know.
Nice. But that's like
good stuff.
That's what's neat about like Twitch. Like so many, like instantly people can connect with you just from the interest, you know. And like Hannah's shelf, it's like, you know, there's like amazing like characters.
Yeah.
And it's just neat, you know. I'm
and
boring.
Shelf,
I just have like
a lot of drums.
Yeah, I just have like wood.
It's very tasteful wood. I might say.
Yeah.
If you don't mind me saying so. Well, basically, this is a studio that I sleep in with an air mattress. It's a studio. It's like a workroom, an office, with an air bed in it.
Nice. It's an all-in-one. It's all-in-one.
A lot of personality.
Yeah.
I hope so. I'm glad to hear that because I want it to be that way. The shelf in the back. I'm so proud of this. I built it myself. The shelf. It's a custom made PVC and plywood shelf. I wanted one shelf that like fit the width of my room.
Yeah.
And rather than buy shelving units, which I have to like, you know, finagle them together to get them the right size, I just wanted to make one big shelf that fits like my room here, the width of my room, and goes almost as high as the ceiling. And so I did it all with PVC and plywood for like $100.
Nice.
Oh my gosh. Pinterest that.
It's very rickety. I would never build this for somebody. I would never build this for somebody that I loved and cared about, you know. But for me, you know,
it's good if the wind doesn't blow, right?
Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
Nobody
Don't breathe on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seriously.
So since we were talking about multiple platforms, I would like to bring up, you know, there was a question in the chat as well, like, is it okay for Twitch streamers to stream on other platforms? And the answer is it depends. If you can look up the affiliate contract, it's public, and you can check out what their guidelines are. If you are an affiliate, you're just bound to the 24-hour restriction, which means that you cannot multi-stream at the same time, but you could fire up a stream on Twitch, and then after you end that Twitch, or after that you end that stream, you could fire up another stream. And also anything that you stream on Twitch, there has to be 24 hours before you can like post that content elsewhere. So you couldn't just like post it on Twitch and then right away rebroadcast it on another platform. You do have to wait that period of time. To my understanding, Dan, you're an affiliate, so you might want to verify.
Yeah.
When it comes to partners, this is where it gets a little bit dicey because not everybody has the same contract. A lot of us do. A lot of us do have the same contract. But what I'm running into right now is realizing that the phrasing is very broad, very confusing, and it comes down to a little definition of what is defined as licensed content is what I'm finding. My account manager has advised me that I am not permitted, per the terms of my contract, to stream creative content, music, anything like that, anywhere else on the internet. I've been told that I am bound to Twitch. So we've read over this. Me and my husband have. It doesn't spell that out very clearly. So if that is what my contract means, it wasn't very obvious looking at it. You read the exclusivity, it talks about the 24-hour thing, all of that kind of stuff. But when it comes to whether or not I could go on Mixer and then go on Twitch, that was not very clear. And I'm told that I cannot. So I'm actually, and I do know that some other folks say have other contracts, and they say, well, we know that we're allowed to use any other platform except for we can't use YouTube gaming. But you know, if I do highly recommend, if you are a partner, to double check with your account manager. If you're still not sure, you can send an email to Twitch's legal department. That's what I'm doing because I really am confused about this contract. I'm also having a lawyer look at it. It's not like it's a huge deal, but I want to be informed. And here's the other dicey thing. You can't read. I'm told I'm not able to renegotiate my contract.
Ever?
So, I'm told I can't renegotiate it. That's not something they do. I was told. In fact, I don't know if that's okay for me to even say here. I'm not sure, but I'm told that that's not something they do. So if you are gunning for partnership, if you are close there, I highly encourage you to ask questions about the contract they send over for you to sign. And if you think that down the road you might want to try something on Mixer, try something on Facebook, try something on YouTube or elsewhere, I highly encourage you to try to negotiate or try to get those terms spelled out before you sign it, because those contracts auto-renew. And at least in my experience where I'm at right now, I'm just a little guy too. I'm not a heavy hitter on Twitch. You know, it's in music, maybe I'm significant, but elsewhere I'm little, you know. I'm told I cannot renegotiate. So please, if you're going for partnership, talk about that stuff. Ask those questions. Ask, what does this mean? Ask about that.
Yeah, affiliates too. I mean, it is exciting when you do get that email like, hey, we want you to be an affiliate. But if something like a cross-platform thing is something that you're interested in, you know, really take that into consideration, you know, before you just get it and you quick fill it out and you're like, yeah, cool, we did it. Because it is a contract, you know, like legally binding. And same thing with partner. There's people on Twitch that I know have in our music community that have come from YouTube that aren't partnered on Twitch. They very much could be, but they haven't accepted the partnership thing. You know, I haven't really gone into it with them, but I'm pretty sure it has something to do with that. Like, they still want to be able to do things in different areas. So even the partnership thing, yeah, Steph's right. Like, really do research before you know, it's weird to think about the future, but if you're getting to that point where partnership is an option, then you probably have some kind of, I'm going to say, talent or ambition, and you might want to say like, oh, I want to kind of try this too now. Like, and you could get stuck. I don't know. Steph's very right.
If you all haven't streamed on Facebook yet, you should really give it a shot.
Yeah.
Because all the people you went to high school with are going to come out.
Well, Facebook is massive, is the truth. Think about how much built-in network. Facebook has been accumulating people there for years. And this now people have the opportunity to go live in a formal, organized fashion there. And when you get if Facebook endorses you, like they did to Darkness, he grew. In a month, he surpassed what he had spent years trying to build on Twitch with a little bit of help from Facebook, plus Facebook's built-in advertising.
Mm-hmm.
These are things to think about depending on what you're trying to market and who you're trying to go after. Like personally, for me, I have been wanting to do a children's variety show, write children's music, play games, do drawing, do puppet shows, sort of like a modern day Mr. Rogers sort of a thing. I felt that would be best suited for YouTube because it has YouTube Kids, or Facebook because there are a lot of parents on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
But I cannot do that without jeopardizing what I have on Twitch. You've got to really think about this stuff. Think about if it would benefit you to stream at the same time to other platforms. Ask questions. It's okay to ask questions. You don't have to just sign something. You're offering them something too. It's not just them offering you the ability to make money. You're offering them your content and you are making them money.
Mm-hmm.
So ask questions. Be picky. There's always tips too. You can always earn tips and people still continue to tip, and you don't have to get into a contract, but I don't regret it. I love Twitch. Don't get me wrong. I love it. But
That's a big sort of attitude shift. What you just said at the end there, Steph, that I think has been very helpful for me and how I conduct myself as a business. And that's like when Twitch comes to me or whatever. When I really with Twitch partnerships, you apply to them, right? You apply for a partnership. It's very difficult because when you're a Twitch partner, you're making Twitch money, and they're helping you make money too. But at the end of the day, who benefits more? Does Twitch benefit more, or do you benefit more? The answer might be different. Mm-hmm. But I don't think it's a very helpful attitude from a business point to be like, oh my God, Twitch finally, I'm a partner. Twitch finally let me be a partner. It's like that's like the attitude for Twitch to take advantage of you. And that's Twitch is my main platform. We're all homies here at Twitch, and we like the place. But Twitch is still a business, and we're probably all businesses or small businesses or whatever. And I think it's important to never forget that there is the bottom line.
Yeah, we do have a boss.
Not be in a D-bag about it, but not to be naive.
Yeah.
No, it's very well said. You need to advocate for yourself. And even though Twitch has launched a lot of nice monetization features in the past year that have definitely benefited broadcasters, we have bits now, and we have sub gifting, and we have sub tiers and all that kind of stuff. However, I do follow some folks, OP group and whatnot, who talk about that is diverted income.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you think about the cut, you guys see the markup on bits.
Yeah, especially on mobile.
You guys know casters aren't getting the entire chunk of money that it costs to subscribe to them. People used to get more tips. That used to go straight to you. Now, I'm not saying that this is neither here nor there. There are other platforms that you can look at too. Facebook, they don't have that huge markup on their currency.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different. So you really kind of got to think about these things as well. It is very nice to be a partner. There are perks that come with it. And I love Twitch, but Jackson is right. They are a business. They are a company, and they have their bottom line, and you need to be smart and advocate for yourself.
Yeah. Hannah, do you have any thoughts on this? Cause I know like you were talking about it too a little bit.
I think as more options have become available for monetization, I noticed a change in it when Amazon took over. And I think that it's more important now to pay attention because of Amazon taking over, because you're talking a major, worldwide corporation that their bottom line is going to be a lot different than Twitch's was before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think it's really important for people to pay attention to that.
Yeah. Like
good things to think about.
Yeah. Well, like we talk about like partnerships and affiliate stuff. It is overall in general, like we're entertainers, right? Like we learn our instruments and that's like our passion. But at some point, you do get confronted, even if you're not a streamer, even if you are just like a musician, someone's like, hey, how much can we hire you? And you're like, oh man, I've never thought of this before. But you do have value and you got to tip the scales on what you want to be something that's going to make you happy, at the end. So yeah, just being smart and safe and smart.
It's really hard to, whenever I was filling out my partnership application, it was really hard for me because like for me, I play violin. Awesome. We have a great community, but then it's like, you have to kind of sell yourself too. What benefit am I bringing to you? What are you going to get out of it? And it was hard to sit down and list out, this is going to benefit you. This is going to benefit you because and Jackson, I don't know if you struggle with the same kind of thing or not, but the self-promotion you kind of have to do in order to be seen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Twitch isn't going to be like, oh, we're going to like promote for you every day.
that's one of those things, one of those crossroads that everybody who does what we do, you have to, like, if you want to do this as a business or for a living, you have to get to that sooner or later, unless you're a super duper lucky and you have people doing all the work for you and you're like one of 5 people in the whole world. You have to get to that point about how do I want to conduct myself? How do I want to promote myself? How do I want to sell myself? Everyone has to square that circle some way, and we all do it probably at least a little bit differently. And it's one of those like sink or swim moments. It's like, well, do you want to be serious about this? And you have to separate your personal self and your business self.
Yeah,
it's a big deal. It's a big part of I think of growing up. It's a big part of maturing. And do you want to be an amateur? Or do you want to be a pro?
Yeah.
And pros have to conduct themselves in a professional fashion.
I want to be a pro.
And it's kind of jarring. I'm sure probably all of us remember like our first times where we got paid money to do what we love to do, to play music. It's like we all remember like our first gigs, $50 at the pizzeria or whatever. I don't know.
Yep.
For me, it was a Mother's Day luncheon. I played accordion for a Mother's Day brunch. Excuse me, a Mother's Day brunch.
Dude, that was probably lit.
It's like actually, I learned a big lesson there that I should not lowball myself. I could have easily gotten twice as much money because it was a very ritzy. But like still, it was like they want to pay me money to play accordion. It's like I just do that for free. It's like no, don't say that. Don't say you do it for free. Say okay, $75 an hour, $150 an hour, okay, $500 an hour, or whatever it is.
Yeah, do you guys remember your first ones too? I'm just curious. Like,
tell us.
I remember, well, before I did music on Twitch, I was doing photography freelance. And I remember, when it comes to photography, it's like nowadays anybody buys a DSLR and is like, I'm a photographer. And it's hard to charge what you feel you're worth and what's going to cover your business costs. A, when you feel so grateful that you even get to do it in the first place.
Yeah.
And B, when there's other people out there that are lowballing to get and doing free stuff and everything to start their portfolio, and then somebody looks at you like you really want that much money. And I will go a step further and say that it's also very kind of different than content creator logic, where it's usually like I show up and bring my best, and whatever you're willing to give me, I'm grateful for. And you just have to put that faith and trust that you can fall back and your community is going to catch you.
Yeah, that's true, huh? That's crazy.
It's very different.
I never thought
Some
of
people
that.
can monetize in an organized fashion their channels. Like Lara talked about that a lot, talking about kind of the supply and demand of playing requests or learning requests and whatnot. And when you can strike a balance like that, that's great. Some of us are like myself, some of us are still just kind of winging it, you know, like, hi, I'm here. This is what I can do. And I appreciate anything that you're happy to give me.
Yeah. How about you, Hannah? Do you remember when someone first like kind of valued like your craft or anything?
Honestly, my first paid anything was here on Twitch. A year and a half ago.
Yeah.
And the first time I got a tip, it was like, wait, what was that notification? Like, was that real? Was that? Let me repeat that notification. No, let me repeat it again just to make sure. Really? Like, are you sure?
That's funny.
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, yeah, I played a graduation party in my high school punk band. I think like it was out in the field. There was this huge fire.
Oh,
just like it's Pennsylvania, you know, there was not like anyone for miles. And we built this huge bonfire. It was a huge graduation party. And the person's dad who kind of allowed us to throw it there at the end of the night came over and handed us all money. And I was like,
why?
Yeah, we were
for
having
what?
fun. And he was like, no, you guys did great. That was awesome. Thank you. I was like, wow. Like it was just this like, you know, when you're 17 and someone gives you money for doing something that you love, you know, that it's just exciting. Or like that first time, like Hannah said, it's exciting. And it is neat to see on Twitch when that happens, even to gamers, to me, you know, because some people are great broadcasters. Maybe they're not the best gamers, but they're entertaining to watch, and to see them get, you know, something from that, because there is value in that. You know, people sit there for hours and watch stuff that they enjoy, and I don't know, it's special. I think it's really cool.
It's true. So I'm sorry to interrupt, but somebody asked a question, and we've talked about it so much on the podcast before, but I would love to have Jackson and Hannah weigh in.
Yeah.
Raji wants to know, how do you guys feel about having to play and perform things you might not necessarily enjoy for a paying gig? Do you compromise or do you flat out refuse?
Hannah, I'll pass it off to you.
I was going to let you answer first. For me personally, I play everything. I mean, as long as it's terms of service, as long as, you know, I'll get the people that, of course, I have 2 mods specifically that filter everything. They check it. They're constantly checking all the songs, you know. I mean, I'm a mature rated channel, so, you know, a lot of songs will go through that are more mature rated, but if it's too much, you know, we'll ask for a replacement, blah, blah, blah. Or like live versions. But honestly, I mean, even the live versions, my mods will go in and find a regular version and throw it in there, and then we'll just switch it. So as far as like a song that I don't personally like, it doesn't happen too terribly often, but it's one of those, you know, me personally, I grin and bear it. I go ahead and do it. I mean, if it's extreme, I'll say, I'm sorry, this is not something I can play to. Yeah. Can I get another song? But it would have to be kind of an extreme thing. Like one song I got one time, and I don't remember what band it was. It was some independent band. And it was literally guttural screaming through the whole thing. And yeah, I might listen to that when I'm really angry, you know, and I just need to get that rage out or whatever. But for the stream, it was, and for trying to play too, I mean, I couldn't, it was so right there in the front that I couldn't even figure out what key I heard. There was no melody line. There was no bass line. It was just all sound. And so, yeah, I had to turn it down.
Sorry. I thought you would like it.
And I feel bad turning down songs, so I really, really, really don't do it often. But I've seen other music streamers that, you know, if it's not something they enjoy, they'll just flat out say, "Hey, I need something different."
Yeah,
and that's fine too. Yeah, that's just how I handle it. Most of the time, I grin and bear it.
Well, I'm a big fan of grindcore. I play lots of what's the band? Cock and Ball Torture. That's that's a band. It's a great band. Y'all should look it up. The titles of their songs are unspeakable on Twitch. They are the names of the songs are against terms of service. So check it out on your own time.
Wait, let me write this down.
Yeah. Torso fuck, cock and ball torture. I think Cannibal Corpse. It's Cannibal Corpse. Whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We're not talking about grindcore. I'll answer the question more broadly, like not just on Twitch, but just like gigs in general, or like musical work in general. And for me, the way I answered this question, it's a big part of growing up, of being, like I said before, being an amateur or being a professional. And back in the good old college days, I was paying for my own stuff, but my expenses were much lower than they are now. So today I'm paying for what are those gimmicks we call bills? We got rent, got car insurance, we got regular insurance, we got grocery, like,
yeah.
Keep counting, baby food, diapers, like good God Almighty, wood for the wall, fine Corinthian rich mahogany for my drum studio.
Yeah.
It's like those gimmicks add up. So I think about that, and I think about this stupid freaking grindcore song somebody requested, and it's like, I add two and two together. So the answer is just, it really depends, which is the least sexy answer to give. It depends. Sometimes, like, I sometimes get offered to do like menial manual labor stuff, and it just sucks my soul out. So even for the money is not good enough for me to like just like kill myself for 8 hours. So it depends on what it is. Really, for me, my attitude on music is that, like, I feel so lucky that I can just do music. And so I'm just so lucky that I can make money just doing music. I'm still in that like honeymoon period. So I think I'm very tolerant as far as musical stuff goes, because I'm still just lucky that I can even do this. So if somebody asks for some, horrifically gruesome, grotesque porncore song, some like German, indie folk metal band, I'll insult them and talk bad about it, but I'll still play the song. I'll say mean things.
See, I'm kind of becoming the opposite of that. The more that I've been streaming, I find that I'm thinking from a broadcast perspective. Like, yes, I could play a lot of different songs, even if I don't enjoy them, but I find that my attitude and even my playing, like if I'm playing something that I think is good, I'm going to play it 10 times better than if it's something that I'm not interested in. Because, like you glaze over, right? If it's a song that you're not interested in, for me personally, like we've all played thousands and thousands and thousands of songs. We've heard it, right? So for me, it has to spark something up here. And when that spark happens, that's when I do my best. And I'm getting to this point where I want to be more of me at my best when I stream. And what's that?
You just you light up. I know what you're talking about. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I love when I'm watching your stream and you're so stoked about a song.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the energy comes across to us too.
Yeah. Okay, good. Cause that's what I want it to be, more of that. Yes, I could play a song that I'm like, okay, we'll do this. But that's, 5 minutes that I'm never going to get back again. That maybe I could have filled that up with something that maybe would bring more value to the viewers. And I don't know, I'm having this weird paradigm shift in my brain since I've been back, it's just, I feel like my viewers are enjoying it more because they see me having more fun. And maybe some aren't, maybe they're like, well, he's not going to play my song. And I'm sorry, but I'm shifting gears because I'm finding that I'm enjoying it more. And I think my viewers are too.
We're in a weird predicament, sort of where we're at, because we are, with our channels, we're the captains of the ship. We drive the bus. We're not just like hired hands, who play on a TV show. We're the talent, and we're the director, and we're the writer, and we're the everything. So that's a weird spot. Imagine if a movie was made by literally one person. Like a high school short film. Like movies are made with hundreds of people, on the crew. But for us, what we do is usually us, and then maybe with some helpers, to help with some of the more like administrative stuff. But it's different. I like, sorry for the stutter again. I like to take the attitude of like the classical musician, like the orchestra musician. An orchestra player, they probably don't get to pick the program. Most definitely, they don't get to pick the music that they play, but they have to play with utmost quality and musicianship and intensity. And what if the principal cello is not a big fan of Brahms 3? The tuba part for Dvorak 9 is a really awful tuba part. It's 12 whole notes in the second movement, and it really sucks to play. But and the tuba player probably doesn't like it. But it's like, it doesn't matter if you don't like it. So it's one attitude. Yeah. If you don't pick what you choose to play. But here on Twitch, we do get to pick what we choose to play. We have there's nobody above us who's going to yell, "Hey, you didn't play that song." There's no authority figure who's going to admonish us for that. It's all up to us. So I like to sort of skate between that. Like one, I can drive the bus and I can say your song is trash and I'm not going to play it in a million years for $1 million, and you can go piss up a rope. On the other hand, I say it's my job, it's what I do, I signed up for this, it's the gig, and I don't have to like it, but I have to not let it show to the audience. Yeah. To the audience, they don't know that I hate That's Amore. I hate That's Amore, but they shouldn't know that. They don't have to know that. I want to play so beautifully that they think it's my favorite song in the world, and I want to play nothing but That's Amore until the day I die. Yeah. So I'm stuck between those two. Part of it is I'm the boss. Part of it is it's my job.
Yeah. I have two thoughts when it comes to that. The first thought is, on Twitch, in music, this is a very unique issue to music. You're not going to go to some of the biggest gaming streamers and tip them $500 and say, play this game. Yeah. And expect that it's ever going to happen. You are not going to drive their content that way. I mean, maybe if you're a huge corporation and you're sponsoring them to play a game, and even there's some streamers who are like, I just hate this game so much. And they're like, okay, please just stop playing it then. You're doing a bad job representing it. But
get out of here, Nintendo.
Other thought is, there's all this balance between, well, how much, you know what I mean, right? How much is enough for me to be like, okay, and if it's easy for you to know that in your head, like, okay, I'm willing to live learn something, even if I'm not, within my skill set, I am not like Hannah, and I cannot,
I have limitations.
We all have our own, can I try to do it? Is it worth it for $5? Probably not. Yeah. Or for a very generous, contribution for me to reach a goal, maybe I will give it my best shot. You know what I mean? But you only have so much time. And Dan's a parent. He's got 3 kids and a lot going on. Dan comes to Twitch to have fun. Sorry to put words in your mouth and talk about you, but Dan comes to Twitch to have fun and do what he loves. It is not worth Dan's time to make Joe Schmo over there happy, for $3 to play some song that is just going to bring his mood down. Yeah. And then everybody has to watch him sort of like not be having fun through it because Twitch is about people, right? It's not just about a skill set. It's about the person. Yeah. So, kind of having a price. And then the other thing that I think is like just the key takeaway is setting expectations. If you can just manage the expectations and be clear about that stuff as much as possible, like some people do, then it's going to be a lot easier than having to improvise tip by tip, thing by thing, request by request. I personally tell them to expect nothing. And you know what I mean? But I've I see other broadcasters that are very organized in that and are very clear about setting those boundaries, and the boundaries are what give you your power back in those situations.
Yeah. I should maybe clarify what I've been doing the past couple streams, because everyone requests stuff. And Doc brought it up too. It's more of like a song suggestion than a song like, we're going to go down this list and I'm going to play this, and this is the order how it's going to be. And it's more like if it's a priority thing, like if someone donates or cheers, I'm going to give that my best shot too, as like, it's just an appreciation thing, like that's the least I could do is try this. But if it's just like, someone who maybe comes into the stream for the first time and puts down 3 songs that I'm like, I'm not going to play this, like I'm not going to wear myself out for that reason. I guess I'm learning to balance it more for me to feel better. If does that make sense?
That's another thing that we have to wrestle with when we get to the point where it's like there's an audience here and there are people here and there's money involved, maybe money involved. Mm-hmm. You have to wrestle. How are you, the broadcaster, the talent, the performer? How are you going to deal with audience feedback? Some people just choose to ignore it, just turn the chat off or hide it. I don't care what people say. I'm going to sit here and and play my squeeze box until I die. And the world can just piss off.
That's
Probably
amore,
most of it.
Right?
That's amore. Yeah, most of us don't feel like that.
Yeah.
But also most of us probably don't just like give into every little whim from the audience. Nobody should do that. So where are you in the middle? I think I'm becoming much more. If you don't mind me using the word, I'm becoming much more bitchy. I'm much more. I'm much more prone to tell the audience, the streamer, the people who request that their requests are bad, and they're bad people, and they should feel bad. And Shania Twain is not that good. I like.
Wait a second, hang on.
Oh snap!
I love Shania. But still though, it's in a friendly way. It's in a friendly way.
Yeah.
They should be honored to be roasted by you.
No. Hey,
Yeah,
I don't know.
But it is interesting though. Like you do this thing, and I think I noticed it with me when I took like that month off, and like I actually could think about stuff, because you do it daily, every day, day in, day out. You don't get a chance to like process what's happened. Even for like months, like you could be doing it for like 6 months, a year, and you could be like, wow, I've never really actually stopped and thought about what I'm doing. We might think of stuff here and there quick, but by the time we go to do something, it's already the next stream, and then we're moving on, and there's stuff happens so quick, and I'm moving my hands all around because it's something that I've thought about. But it's like, I do think of myself now as a musician first, right? Professionally, that's what I've been doing for the last 18, 20 years. But with Twitch now, I think of it more as being a musician is one of the tools that I'm using to be a broadcaster. And I'm trying to focus more on, not like broadcasting different things, but just how do I interact with chat? How do I use my tool, my instrument, to broadcast and communicate and connect with people? So I don't think of it as like I would like a live thing anymore. Like I'm not out to do, play anything anymore. It's more like, what am I going to do to make me a better broadcaster and enjoy myself and have the chat? So that's how I've been treating it since I've been back. And it's like, it's way more fun. Like I'm so excited to stream now. Just because I feel like I'm having more fun, and I've gotten, I don't know, I feel more myself when I'm doing that.
Well, that's certainly a positive thing.
Yeah. But it's something that I wasn't really thinking about when I was streaming, like, 4 times, 5 times a week, because you don't get that. You don't get that space, because when I'm done streaming, I was working, I was teaching, or like you said, being a parent, being a husband. So maybe you do get like that 10-minute window when you're going to the bathroom in the morning to like, we all do it. We can reply to stuff or think about what are we going to do the next day. Cause like we don't get that time, a lot of us are all busy. We're all, good at a lot of things, which is good. You know,
that's life.
Busy,
That's you know, there's no easy answer, and there shouldn't be.
Yeah.
This is the hard part.
Yeah.
Playing music's the easy part. You can teach that. You can practice that.
Exactly.
The life stuff, that's the hard part.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's a cool talk, and I love hearing everyone's like different stuff on it. But I've certainly got inspiration from hearing all these different guests talk about it over the last couple episodes too. It's like, I hope people in chat that listen or are starting to stream, like, take this advice seriously. You might not agree with me or Jackson or Steph or Hannah, you know, but
I hope you don't agree with me.
But
please don't agree with me.
Like, that's one of the things is like all these people do it differently. You know, look at it, analyze it, say, well, if I did it this way, how do I think I might? You know, would it help me? Would it hurt me? Or should I try this? Hearing all these different answers and different approaches to stuff, I definitely use.
I'm so sorry, Dan.
No?
Steph said it a while ago, but it's really important, I think, to always keep in the back of your head. This thing that we do, this medium, is incredibly new. However many years it is, it's incredibly new. Imagine okay, so Twitch has been around for what, I don't know, say 10 years or whatever, maybe 5 years for what we do.
Yeah.
Where was TV in 1930, in 1935? You know what I mean? We didn't get color until whatever, the 50s or something. It's like, this is so incredibly new. So, and it's still incredibly chaotic. You know, I'm not exactly really like hopeful about Twitch's future, like 5 or 10 years. I don't know. I just have a hunch. I'm not really it looks a little bleak to me, but overall, don't just keep in the back of your head. This is a very chaotic circumstance that we've found ourselves in, situation. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't want to be a full-time Twitch guy from the get-go. I didn't want to do that, and I still don't, because it's too weird for me. But it's a nice thing to do. To me, it's a nice thing to do on the side.
Yeah, I do. It does feel like we're. As we were driving across country, me and my dad were like, man, like the first people to like come through here, like there's no roads, there's no there's trees everywhere, but like, how did they get around this huge mountain, you know? And I feel like we're kind of in that, you know, this is all new territory and no one knows where to go or where the ocean is. And we're just kind of following the sun setting every day.
Skinning bears in the Pocono Mountains.
Yeah.
Gonna drive out on my 4-wheeler with my 22.
Oh my gosh.
Gonna hang out in the Allegheny Mountains overnight.
Yeah.
Well, and like it or not, the music community, we're all helping shape how it's going to go, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. Like anybody who started streaming in the last, 3-ish years in the music community has been shaping this.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's 1,000% right. Like, It is neat to think about what it will become. The more popular it gets and the more attention it gets, I think the more people will put more resources into it. You know, like it is neat to see.
People already are. We've got established bands and musicians that are coming over now. One of the guitarists from Dragon Force,
Trivium
is
too,
on Twitch now.
Herman Lee. Lee's here.
He followed Chainbrain.
Nice.
He is on Twitch. The guitarist from Trivium.
Yeah, lead vocal.
All of his vocals.
The Fat Rat's over here now. He just started streaming.
Matt Hafey. Is Matt Hafey here from Trivium? They're from Orlando. They're from Orlando, like me.
Weird name. I forget what it is, but my husband was really excited to see him doing his drills, his guitar and vocal warm-ups and all of that kind of stuff. This is catching on, and we're going to see so many more amazing musicians come on. But I really want to echo what Dan said about it. Approach it as a broadcaster first. And, I do agree. There's a comment in the chat. There's no right or wrong approach. Each channel has its own vibe and audience. This is so true. Hannah can play to anything. And that is like a huge, that's like her bread and butter. That's like a big selling point for her is you wouldn't expect violin to sound good and to be awesome over this or that. And
Shania Twain.
She's amazing. My audience, I've built it more like I am sort of a diva. I'm very kind of selective in some ways, and sometimes I do improvise or whatever, but I'm building up my people who love me for me, and they're going to support me because they love me, because it's a people-centric platform. So it's not, skills are very important, but on Twitch, I feel like being yourself with your own unique brain and perspective and approach and personality and being genuine, I feel like that goes a really, really long way.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I haven't brought it up yet, but I'm today. But I'm a big fan of pro wrestling, and a thing that happens a lot in pro wrestling is wrestlers will get injured. Wrestling is very dangerous profession. But they'll get injured, and basically, like with one injury, like their whole wrestling career is over at that point, and then they have to do something else. So in the back of my head, I always think, one day I could get hit by a bus, and I can't play accordion anymore. So if my big thing is only accordion, then I'm kind of getting boned, because in life's many misfortunes and tragedies, that could get taken away from me. And then if that gets taken away from me, then what do I have? If the accordion leaves me and I have nothing, then I was building a house on a shaky foundation. So like when you said earlier, it's like what I'm trying to sell is me. You can't take away my personality unless I die. That's the only thing that'll take away, me. Accordion can go away, music can go away, whatever. Like all the other stuff can go away, but me, my personality, and me as a person, that can't get taken away. So that's the number one thing that I try to, if I'm trying to sell something, I'm trying to sell Jackson, I'm trying to sell my body to the fans.
You might lose your accordion playing, but you'll always have that Bud Light Lime.
Yeah, dude. It has dust on it. There's dust. I bought this like a year and a half ago as a prop. I don't drink, whatever this stuff is, but it looks cool.
Yeah. Really quick, I did want to bring up one more thing, and then Susan is in chat. I'm pretty sure, and we're gonna bring her on. She's gonna talk about something really exciting. But one last piece, because I know there's a lot of affiliates out there. Twitch did this new thing, and it's really neat. And I noticed it yesterday after I streamed. But under your path to partnership, you have consistent days, you got to do whatever, and I think it's hours. I don't even quite remember, but the big one, the one at the bottom, is the average 75 viewers, right? That's what everyone kind of looks at, and you see like this little, there used to be like a little slider where you were. Twitch has this thing now where it shows you a number out of 75 where you're at, and it's if you look at the channel stats, your 30-day average is going to be different than that path to partner number. And I'm thinking that, or at least this is what I'm gathering, is that they're factoring out the things, because a lot of people have applied recently and got denied because of either a lot of the audiences from larger hosts or raids or other communities, right? When people auto host you or whatever, where these viewers are coming from. And that number's different than your monthly average, because I think they're kind of going to start basing it off of just your organic viewership. And I think that's going to hopefully stop some of the confusion and maybe stop some of like the partnership applications that will get denied because of that reason. So if you are an affiliate, check it out. I think it's very helpful. If that is indeed what it's doing, it's given us a more accurate actual number to base our channels off of, rather than seeing, my average for the last 30 days is this big number. Because, math is hard for some people. And when you do go back and do that math and you look at where the viewers are coming from, it can be because of raids and hosts, even if it, it's been 30 days or whatnot. So I just think that's really neat. If you are an affiliate, check it out. And it gives you a more accurate representation of where your channel's at. And I'm happy about it. I think it's really neat. I'm excited to see. That
sounds it makes sense, because so many people were getting their applications rejected because, and the way they had to figure out what their actual average was, not including hosts and raids, was they had to go and see what percentage came from it and then do the math and subtract it from the thing. And there was nobody told them that,
Yeah.
you know, they think they're hitting the milestones. And that's kind of, I remember what it was like to apply for partnership. And I know that would have sunk me a little bit. You know what I mean? To have to go through that.
Yeah. So I just
I
encourage
don't know
people.
anything about that.
What's that, Hannah?
I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, well, like I did just kind of unlock like the thing, and it's something like this whole. I went off of advice from you, Hannah, and Richie when she was on. You know, I waited until that was unlocked before I was like, okay, let's try to push a little bit and keep them up for a consistent month before I even apply. Like I'm not like, oh, I did it, here we go, you know, and I'm not going to do it quick. I wanted to do it, you know, kind of smart, you know, going off of hearing, you know, people's experiences. But the new number, it's making me more confident in it, and I'm like going to try to keep that number up there throughout July before I apply. You know, I want it to seem not so quick and, you know, hasty.
Consistent growth.
Yeah. And then the other thing too, I was thinking like, well, do I talk about it? Do I bring it up? Because, you know, people do, you know, it might happen quick, or, you know, they might not talk about it, or they do talk about it and it doesn't happen. So I was like, well, do I bring it up? Do I not? But then I thought, you know, I should bring it up I felt wrong not talking about it for people in my community that are there day in and day out, you know? So I don't know. It's neat. It's exciting.
Congrats, Dan. That's super awesome.
Very cool.
I'm ready. I'm ready for you to have it.
Yeah, it's scary, but you know, when you were on here, Hannah, and you guys said like, you know, think about how you're going to apply. Don't just be like, I drum.
It's so important, and it's not something you think about till you're sitting here staring at the screen, and it's like, what else would you like to say? And it's like, I thought I'd covered everything. Well, crap.
Yeah.
You know? It's like if you have to write something, and it's just like, yeah.
So
Like I personally, and this might just be me, but I actually wrote out my application stuff. And then I had my husband go over it and, you know, make some suggestions. And then I sent it to another partnered streamer who'd kind of taken me under his wing and was like, what do you think of this? You know, like I filtered it through several different relevant people. And then I still sat on it for a while. And then I went back and I was like, do I have any spelling errors? You know, the embarrassing error that's going to be like, this girl? No.
Oh, I guarantee mine will have spelling errors. Like, wow, this guy is a drummer. Wow, we should just, yeah.
The stereotype is real.
The drummer's the most important member of any band, because he's the one that has the, you know, the minivan, that can haul all the gear.
you got the speaker cases. Yeah.
The Ford Econoline E350 white van, you know, with the seats ripped out or whatever.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Poor Dan.
No, it's true though. I was like the guy that carried all the gear to gigs, you know, like back in the day. It's so true though.
Well, I mean, and I've said this before, but like the percussion that you put to the backing track that I used at TwitchCon last year, that was literally art. That was beautiful.
Aww,
so I mean,
thank you. Oh, you guys are nice. But is Susan ready? Do we have her? Can we bring her in, Steph? Is Susan in chat?
Oh, sure.
Well, I don't want to like exit out of full screen.
You're scared you're gonna break something.
And
I
then-
have invited her to the call. I don't know if
Awesome.
you need to switch the overlay, but
Oh, I do. Yeah.
okay. I just added her. So Suzanne, if you are there, feel free to connect with us. I see she's trying to connect.
Yeah. I didn't want to go on full screen. I joked earlier, like I have a lot of unread messages in my Discord, and it's not because I hate you, but it's just
keep it secret.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I'll do messages now, and then I'm like, I see how many there are, and I'm like, I don't have time to do all of these, so I'll get to them. I promise. I love you.
No,
Please allow me while we're doing this. I need to take a quick bathroom break. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, man. Take your time.
Well, yeah, there's a little bit of, we might have some technical stuff. It was strange. Do you remember last time when we tried
With
to
Megan.
get Megan on? We had an issue, and I don't know if it was because I added her or what the deal was. But I started this group conversation, and
Yeah, hopefully we'll get it.
we'll see what happens.
Bum, 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 bum. I like how Hannah's in the middle, though. It's awesome.
I
I
know.
just noticed it. I'm like, wait, why am I?
It's awesome.
I know, and you've spoken the least.
Yeah. Chat, do you guys have any thoughts on all this stuff or anything that you'd like to bring up? Because we've talked about some cool stuff today. Good talks. Just curious.
I can just leave the call.
You can try. It was just weird last week with Megan's.
Yeah. It was weird because Megan started a new conversation, and then all of a sudden everything worked.
Yeah.
Maybe can you try to add her to the group, Dan? Are you friends with her
Yeah.
on Discord?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here,
where the
hold
little
on.
Here, I'm gonna remove her. Do you see where the little plus sign is? You try to add her and see if maybe there's
Okay.
something wrong.
Okay, here, hold on. I'm going to go to this and I'll mute that so everybody can hear us. And because I also have like DMs with like cool stuff, surprise stuff.
Ooh.
Right?
Let's see. Add Susan. Oh, am I not friends with her? Hold on, guys.
I'm sorry. I don't know what went wrong.
It's okay. Chat can still hear us, so everyone we can keep chatting to chat.
Yeah.
Bum bum bum.
It's great to have you guys here. Thank you for sharing that. And something cool that Bagel Spider said above that I did not even realize. There are a lot of other significant musicians that are on Twitch. Jim Root from Slipknot,
Yeah.
Alex Bent, 2 members of FFAA. I don't know who that is. Lucas Mann from Rings of Saturn. Luke
Family
Collins.
Force 5.
That's a lot of people.
There's also a lot of YouTube musicians.
There we go.
It worked.
There
It
we
must
are.
be me.
Man,
Here, do you want me to leave so we can make her bigger? I could leave the call.
yeah.
Don't make me bigger.
Okay, I'll leave the call. You and just Tana, will you type in when I need to come back?
Text me.
No,
Okay.
just leaving. No, Steph, you stay. Please stay. Because
No,
it's
I'll leave.
working.
I don't-
It's actually working now. So we'll just it's not broke.
I'm going. Bye.
Evil Steph. Hold on. Let me full screen and then we'll go back here. Can everybody see? We should be good. Chat, can you guys see us? Sorry. It is weird. Yeah, we had this last week with Megan. Susan, welcome. How are you doing?
Hey guys.
It was
Hey,
weird. It
doing
was
great.
like just spinning forever. But you have some very cool stuff to talk about. Yeah.
Yes.
Jackson's
It's so awesome.
He's got his banana ready.
It's like popcorn.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to give you the floor. So
Whoa.
I'm excited.
Okay, thank you. Well, it's really exciting. I'm a bit nervous actually, but there's going to be a week in August, a big meetup in the Netherlands with around 30 people, streamers, music streamers, and 4 mods coming. And we're gonna stream it also. We're gonna make a lot of music together, and we're gonna stream it for Saving Music Live.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome, and we're gonna stream for the charity goal Save the Children, which is an international goal. So it's really focused on children in where there are wars or disasters by nature, making sure the kids get protection, get school, so they don't become like a lost generation.
Yeah, that's
So
cool.
it's a beautiful cause to stream for.
Yeah.
We're gonna do 5 streams. So we will start on Tuesday, 8 p.m. our time, Netherlands.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be probably like 2 p.m. EST.
Yep.
So we're gonna stream Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday.
August. What are the dates again?
August 6th till 13th.
Awesome.
Yeah,
And,
one week.
what are some of excuse me, who are some of the streamers that we can expect to see?
Yeah.
Well, you had Megan on last week.
Yep.
She's coming. I can tell you that Shananina will be coming.
Nice.
It's going to be a great mix of people who just started or who have been streaming for a long time, partnered, affiliates, also people who are not affiliated. So it's going to be a great mix. Mike TV is coming.
Nice.
But also some mods that a lot of people know, like Dwayne Omar, Shiro June is coming.
Nice.
There are some people in chat here who will be coming. They can raise their hands. I see a lot of people already here. The Boeing family is going to be here as well.
Nice.
And my doggy is going to be there.
Awesome.
Aw.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you for organizing it. I remember like Doc when he's kind of did like the music retreat that we did back in January. It's a lot of work, and
It's
I
a
wanted
lot
to
of
say
work.
thank you for putting it all together. And the Saving Music Live, like the channel that we're on right now, we started off doing Mr. Holland's Opus thing with
Yes.
the last couple times, but it's always meant to be like this channel that's used to use music to help multiple people in different charities and stuff like that. So I think that charity is amazing, and I think the event's going to be awesome. And it's neat
Yes.
that I'm excited to see, we get kind of spoiled here on this side of the ocean, but I can't wait to see what you guys are going to do over there.
Yeah.
Like there's so many awesome music streamers that are all over the place, but for you guys to come together over there is going to be really special. I think it's going to be neat.
Yeah. It's one of the reasons why we set this up, because a lot of us also want to meet everyone, but TwitchCon is like, the flights are very expensive. So this is a way also to do something here, and we plan to do this yearly. So this is going to be the first time.
Nice.
And it's also great that people from US are also coming. So, it's like a little TwitchCon here,
For
and,
real.
Yes.
Like the thing that when I experienced it first at 88-Bits House, when you get music streamers, it's like Jackson, like you said, like cons in general, like you're just around people with similar interests, and it ignites you. It gets you excited, and because you do share so many things in common with other content creators, especially other music content creators. You just relate, and it's very magical. So that's very cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yes.
I'm excited for you guys. I don't know about, I'm assuming you guys are the same way, but after TwitchCon, I came back so fired up to stream, to do more music. And
Yeah, for sure. Well, okay. So August 6th through the 13th, everyone mark your calendars, cancel vacations. It's worth it. And then the first stream on August 6th will be 2 p.m. Eastern time, 8 p.m.
The 7th.
The 7th. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Got it.
So you
August
have some time to set it all up.
Got it. Awesome.
Yeah,
And then it's going to be on this channel, Saving Music Live, twitch.tv/Saving Music Live.
Yes.
And yeah, it's very exciting. Steph can come back. I'm sad she left.
Get her back in here.
She probably is eating. She's probably got food.
I'll send her a message on AIM. I'll tell her to get back here on MSN Messenger.
Her away status.
Yeah. What's your away message, Steph?
Eating food. I already had Taco Bell. Thank you very much.
Taco Baco.
No, but like Steph knows like the Tennessee thing, and then like you guys have all been to TwitchCon. Like there is just this magic that when we're all together, it's just, I don't know. You get nervous the first time. You're like, oh, it's gonna be weird being around other people sometimes, but then once you get in that room, there's so many things that we all have connected to each other. And
that awkwardness lasts for about 2 seconds, and then you find out that everyone in the room is as dumb and awkward and ignorant as you are, and it feels great after that.
Yeah, it is very true. It's awesome.
I'm excited to see what music stuff they're going to have this year. If there's going to be any panels, have they even announced panels yet?
I don't know.
I haven't heard anything
With the ticket info drop, they I don't know, because they're still kind of taking submissions for it. I think the panels will probably be announced a little later. I know Meadow Fox applied with a variety streamer panel, so I think that's a cool thing. But yeah, the more music stuff, the better at TwitchCon. I think it's gonna be neat. But anything where we all get in a room together and do something performance-wise, I think it's huge for our community. So thank you for putting that together. And I'm just excited that, people that haven't gotten that taste of what it's like are going to get that in August, that are coming, that haven't been able to come over for TwitchCon and stuff. I'm excited. I'm going to be watching the whole time.
Yeah. Awesome.
That's very cool.
You want to hear something before we wrap up?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Check this out.
He can't get in the middle, can he?
I don't think so. Hannah's like...
I forgot the rest. Let's go. It's a little screwy, but
It's the Dutch anthem.
that anthem, the Dutch anthem, what's it called, the Wilhelmus or something like that.
Yes.
It's the oldest music for a national anthem in the world. It's from like the 1500s.
I didn't even know that.
That's really cool.
Really cool.
Yeah, our
Awesome.
American history is so like some people.
It's a drinking song, dude.
Some people in chat though were like, it's like, yeah, America, July 4th, and then they're like, yeah, our town's having like our 2000th year celebration. I'm like, wow, that's crazy.
America's very young. America's very, very, very young.
Yeah, we're pups.
We're a baby.
We are, baby.
But Jackson, before we go, where can people find you on the internets?
People can find me.
Listeners?
People can find me under the Queensboro Bridge in New York City.
Oh my goodness.
No.
On Wednesdays.
$15 a man. No, I'm sorry. I can be found at everywhere. Everything. I'm Jackson Parodi. That's my name everywhere. YouTube.com/Jackson Parodi, Parodi. Twitch.tv/Jackson Parodi. Twitter is @Jackson Parodi. The only different one is my Instagram, which I never do, which is @Jackson Alexander Parodi. It's my middle name. So
Nice.
there's that. My plugs are easy.
Food pictures there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so proud. I can cook. I'm an adult. I'm 26 years old. I just learned how to cook a few months ago. I can make rice. I can make chicken. I can steam. You know what I mean? I can do vegetables. Like I can do everything. I'm amazing.
I can make cereal.
Cereal. Yes, I have banana nut Cheerios right here.
And then
No more living off banana nut Cheerios and lime Bud Light.
yeah,
Seriously.
Oh my gosh.
Jerry
that
Maguire.
That life is over. Yeah, no. Dude, but if you guys played Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, it has this in the game. I thought this was just a video game item, but it's actually real. It's a Japanese like diet food called Calorie Mate, and it's called Calorie Mate, and it's like bland like energy food, but if you're on a diet,
It's just straight calories.
it's just like it tastes like chalk It's like chocolate flavor, but it's like chocolate flavored chalk. I don't know why I brought it up, but I like
anything.
Yeah, it's like a very dense, small, like little calorie, like little like dietary supplement. It's not even food. It's barely food.
That's awesome.
I don't know. I just wanted to bring it up.
Now all I can think about is chocolate covered chalk.
Yeah. Let me get some Milano chalk flavor if you don't mind. I'd like some of that.
Susan, thank you so much for coming on and sharing this awesome news. It's going to be really neat. It's going to come quick. It's going to come very fast. Steph, you're going to be here for that.
Yeah, I will be in Pennsylvania.
Yeah. We're going to be doing your record. So we'll have
this beautiful, rich wooded,
fine mahogany.
You might get high because it smells like polyurethane right now. Just kidding.
Interesting album will churn out.
Yeah. And Susan, can you shout out where people can find you in your channel?
Yeah, my channel is Suzanne, but it's like a Sue and then ZAN.
Awesome. Yeah. And then our special guest co-host, that violin chick.
Yes.
Can you shout out yourself where people can find you?
They can find me at That Violin Chick on Twitch.
Awesome. Yeah. And Steph's Random Girl Singing. Is there anything you want to bring up, Steph? Yeah.
I am just so happy I got to spend this time with you guys today. I hope you all are having an incredible summer, and I'm stoked to see how much money you guys raise for Save the Children.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome.
Yeah. Thank you.
Come on, community. Roll up your sleeves. Yeah. But audio listeners, have a great week, and we'll see you next week. And thanks for listening.